Gotta make sure the toes are covered. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video on my channel. This is just another me just straight yapping, just talking. I feel like I really enjoyed last week's episode, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is, but I really enjoyed talking to you guys. So I want to keep continuing this. I also want to preface that I took a melatonin maybe like an hour ago and I'm starting to feel like a little tired. I do want to start the first couple minutes of just me talking about whatever besides today's topic. I wanted to film this a little bit earlier. Hold on. Wait, let me make sure I have no boogers in my nose, because I feel like that always happens. Okay, we're clear. I wanted to film this video a little bit earlier, but every single time I plan on doing something comes up, messes with whatever I wanted to do. I feel like in the past I would have regressed in what I wanted to do, but at this point now I'm like, okay, it's time to just stop complaining about things not going your way or just going backwards. I'm like actually so tired that you need to just roll with the punches. So that's what this episode is. I'm just rolling with the punches. I woke up later, 1. I ate my breakfast a little bit later, 2. I went to the gym way later than what I was expecting because I had so much work to do today. I wanted to go to the gym around like 12, latest 1. I ended up going at like 2:30. But hey, what can you do? Jobs comes first and then I can work myself. But anyways, I was able to go to the gym today. Ooh, excuse you. I feel like the week before I've been doing so good about like going to the gym, eating clean. I have been eating pretty clean for the past 2 weeks and I honestly feel so good. Like I feel very energized. I feel like I get fuller with way less food because all the foods that I eat are like very nutrient dense, high volume food, so I can eat a lot, but it's not high calorie. And I did notice when I got McDonald's on Sunday with my parents, my stomach was not cooked, but I'm telling you right now, I went to the bathroom, TMI, but oh my God. It was the opposite of food poisoning. It felt like I was pushing out a baby. It was terrible. Like, terrible. Anyways, we got Chipotle with my family today. What else did I do? Aside from just a bunch of the crazy stuff going on in the world, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like I'm putting a lot more pressure on myself for this video now because I'm so in my head, but I need to just relax, just talk, you know? I feel like, I don't know why, when I first do something, that's what I wanted to talk about. I feel like when I do something and it does good the first time, I set up these expectations for myself. And I end up like overthinking what I'm thinking in my head because what I was talking about in my last video is to be authentic. Now I feel like how I was when I was making talking videos before, where I'll say something and then in my head I'm like, that was really weird. Why did you say that? I'm trying also not to curse as much, guys. I'm just trying to stop getting in my head, talk how I want. I feel like because I took a melatonin that it kind of messed with me a little bit. Also that I am filming this a little bit later than I was wanting to. But anyways, also I started posting a lot of my shorts onto TikTok. So if you've been trying to grow on YouTube and you have short form content in other places, or you have long form and you have time to make it into short form, post on shorts. Like post 3 to 4 times a day. I've noticed a significant amount of growth in just these couple days alone. I think I gained at least like 50 in like 4 days, and I've never experienced that amount of growth all at once, and I can feel like everything is starting to click. So I've been starting to find myself getting a little bit more attached to the outcome of YouTube and seeing how I'm going to perform on YouTube, which is the topic that I want to talk about for today's video, is the law of detachment. Now, let me actually look up what the definition of law of detachment is. Law of detachment. Maybe next week we can talk about law of attraction, but I don't really like focus on that one that much. Also, I hate how it automatically, when you Google something, it has an AI overview. I miss when it was just like, you have to search through all these articles of Google. Come on. But okay, we'll read it anyways. The law of detachment is a spiritual principle also known as the 7 spiritual laws of success by Deepak Chopra. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, suggesting that to manifest desires, one must release attachment to the outcome. This means focusing on the present action and process rather than being consumed by what might or might not happen. Detachment allows for greater emotional freedom and acceptance and is achieved by letting go of the need to control outcomes and trusting the universe unfolding. I remember I learned the law of detachment, I think a couple years ago, or no, 2024, because it's literally going back to me starting my YouTube. When I first started my YouTube, I was so just tunnel vision, editing all the time, recording all the time, wanting it to be the certain way, and then constantly looking at my analytics, constantly looking at where I can grow, which is good to a point. But if it's taking over your life, like I would wake up, check my YouTube studio every single second, check my YouTube studio, and I find myself doing that now. And the reason why that wasn't sustainable is because I feel like I have that grip of what I want it to be, when it's gonna happen. Oh my God, guys, I'm like so sorry. I'm getting really sleepy. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that melatonin before, but I wanted to guarantee that I go to sleep at a fairly reasonable time, but it is 1:09. But anyways, I find myself doing that now. I find myself because I started getting a little bit more turnout on my videos, because before it was pretty stagnant. I kind of stopped looking because I was like, okay, nothing's changed. It's just going to come when it needs to. I noticed that I've been having more growth now that I am always looking at my YouTube Studio app, and I really don't want to be doing that. It's just like a thing that happens and it'll die out. I don't know when, but it will. But I did want to talk about, wait, I swear I had a law of detachment thing. Is it not on here? Okay, well, I guess I don't have anything on here. I guess I was just gonna free ball it. See, I'm literally putting pressure on myself to think of a certain thing, and that's when it starts to run away more. And that's what I wanted to talk about. So when you have such a grip on something, I feel like it suffocates what you want so much that it is running away from you. And the only way that you're able to get the thing that you want is to just let it come to you. And I feel like that happened to me with a lot of things. I used to be such a stressed person. If I want something and I don't get what I want, or I feel like I'm not getting what I want, I'll stress out. And I feel like I got that from my dad. My dad is a very stressed person, and I noticed that whatever you put into your brain or whatever you're thinking. Oh, I saw this. Oh, it was the Mel Robbins. I know some people don't like her, but some of the things that I find that she discusses, or the people that she has on her podcast, really help out with things. You need to watch this video. I'll try to link it down below. But it's about how a neuroscientist explains how to manifest without the woo-woo. So basically it talks about when you constantly put in your head that you have this goal or you have this way that you want to be, your brain will literally create neuropaths, create certain things to find what you're looking for. So I want to have side jobs that literally have me do what I like doing. And that's like making videos, talking. I feel like in the past I would have been like, oh, well, that's just a coincidence that you're doing UGC. But literally, my brain was looking for what I had manifested. I don't know, something about the subconscious or whatever, but because I have been just thinking about it for so long, your brain will find those things, and that kind of literally like attracts what you want to have into your life. This goes for a lot of things. Law of detachment doesn't only pertain to... I'm so tired, guys. I'm so sorry. Law of detachment doesn't only pertain to careers. It also pertains to relationships. So I remember... I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was really, really, really manifesting Jaden Daniels. Like, I would write about him in my journal. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to let this go. It's so weird because I was like manifesting Jaden Daniels, but I didn't want a relationship in my life. I knew I wanted to just focus on myself. And I know that whatever's going to come to me will come to me when it needs to. And that is exactly what happened with my relationship now. I'm also in a mix of wanting to talk about my relationship online. I just feel like it's like a energy exchange. I feel I'm like letting you guys into my relationship. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe I'm just sounding crazy and a little woo woo. Guys, is this episode like really bad right now? Because I am struggling. I'm really trying to talk about law of detachment, but my brain is going oh. Get this. Okay, Will, if you're watching this, I don't know if you want to be watching this. I will be talking about relationships, previous relationships and things. I don't know. Skip over this, please. Before my relationship now, I was just obsessed with like a person that I was talking to. I wasn't even talking to them. I will look back and be like, why the hell was I so obsessed with this person? For what? Literally for what? They provided nothing. They were my friend. There was nothing wrong with them. But I literally was not myself, trying to, I guess, prove myself to this person. And then I think that really made me take a step back and realize like I'm losing myself in order to be appealing in this person's eyes. I really, like, I was manifesting, I was gripping onto it so tight that I feel like also energetically people will know. People can tell when you're desperate, when you are looking for something, because I reeked of desperation. It was terrible. I look back on it and I'm like, ugh, I'm cringing. Like I said in my last video, the only reason why you cringe at yourself is because you're being something you're not. Which, okay, when I look back on it, I was myself. That was myself at the time. I was a lost little girl trying to prove myself, which is crazy because I knew at the time I was cool. Like, I knew I was the stuff that I was like, why am I allowing this person's approval to dictate how I feel about myself? In turn, made me act fucking crazy. Ooh, ooh. But hey, we all have these moments. It happens to the best of us. But once I started to kind of take back, because there's a point where I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I allowing this person to have this much control over my brain when I bet you they don't even think twice about me? Like, genuinely. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but the same thing happens in the reverse. You yourself can tell when someone is wanting you. And there was a point where someone I could tell was just like really trying to get my attention, and that in turn, like, I could feel that energy. It wasn't like they were doing their own thing, like they were really trying to get me. Does that make sense? I don't want to sound like, full of myself. Also, guys, look at my nails. Sorry, I looked in the viewfinder and I forgot I had my nails on. They are press-ons. Don't look too closely or too long because they are a little messed up. But aren't they cute? They're like $5 on Amazon. I don't even know if you guys can see, but whatever. Anyways, hey, now we're reaching the flow state. Okay, this is where I wanted to be talking. I really took a step back and I was like, what the heck are you doing to yourself? Like, why are you allowing? Because I genuinely got so exhausted. I feel like there comes a point where you energetically get so tired that you're like, oh, like, I just can't do it. I remember just journaling every day. I was so obsessed. I was genuinely so exhausted. I remember writing down being like, what am I doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you allowing this one person to just have a hold of your energy or dictate how you're like feeling for the rest of the day? And I remember I felt that way about like my high school relationships, and I thought I had overcome that, but it was when I started to reflect and be like, you're literally doing that again. It's in different emotions, different times, so I wouldn't really say that they were the same. I also was a different person. Regardless, whatever. I was literally just letting this person dictate how I felt about myself. And honestly, like, oh my God, post the stuff that I wanted to post on Instagram, where I went out, like, oh my God, like the fact that I let someone have that much of my energy blows my mind. Also, I just realized I'm wearing my Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin stepbrother shirt as I was talking about Jaden Daniels before. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, sorry, my brain, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, whatever. No more apologies. Once I started to just be like, okay, you need to like break off of this. You need to chill down. So I hit the peak of like, what the heck are you doing? Like, I took a look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, what are you doing? That I was like starting to go on the come down, where I was starting to just be like, okay, let me just relax. Let me just try to be myself. And I feel like this was also a hard period of my life to do that, because I think I was going through a identity crisis, because it was when I was post-grad. I was still figuring out who I was, just because I felt like I was being something I wasn't. All of college, well, not all of college, I feel like for the last part of college, when I was surrounded by people that, obviously they were my friends, like a lot of them are still my friends to this day, but I also didn't feel like I could be 100% myself like I could the first half of college. Really began to like lose myself the last 2 years. So when I came back home and I was just by myself, that was when I really took a step back and I was like, oh my God, like, what do I find funny? What do I resonate with? What are my values? When I was talking to this person, I questioned literally my own values. Like, I questioned, should I post this on Instagram? Because I'm like, oh, I don't know if he would like take that properly. Like, I don't know if they would like that, which, I cringe under to this day, because why was I doing that? Anyways, Relax. We're good. I really took I feel like I'm going back circles and circles of what I've been saying. But anyways, and that was right around the time where I kind of started talking to my boyfriend now, and bless his heart, he was very patient with me, because you could just tell that I was a very just like I was a slow burner. Like I had just gotten out of a relationship a year before. I was talking to this person. I knew I didn't want a relationship because I was like, I need to work on myself, but I wanted to talk to whatever. I don't know if I was just lonely or something. Guys, I'm being real vulnerable with y'all. I'm telling y'all things that I don't even tell like my mom. Well, I wouldn't tell her anything because she's her own thing. I talk to her about different things. But anyways, hello? What? Oh. Back to Will. Sorry. But the thing how I approached, I'm sorry guys. I knew I was talking about law of detachment, but please wait for it. Like, let me get there. That with Will, we met and then we were talking. I knew deep down, I was like, all right, I'm just trying to focus on myself. I want to be by myself. I want to focus on me, figure out who I am. I need to figure out my values. I need to love myself before I can get into anything with anyone at this time. So like, whatever I do now, like, let me just have fun. So I really started to detach from the idea of wanting a boyfriend. I didn't even want a boyfriend when I was talking to that previous person. I still didn't want a boyfriend when I was talking to Will in the beginning. Sorry to expose you, Will. Okay, he knows. And we've talked about this, but anyways, I really was just detaching from the outcome of how I was talking to my boyfriend. Like, and I feel like that in turn truly made me be 100% myself, because I literally was like, all right, I'm just going to be me. I really don't care. Whatever happens. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. I have no expectations of this. I'm telling you right now, that is the best way to approach anything. And it's way easier said than done, because I've looked up these videos before. I've looked up law of detachment to be like, I want to be detached from this, so I don't care about what this person thinks, or I don't care about whatever happens in this relationship, when deep down you actually do. It's a lot energetically and a lot mentally to truly detach from something, because you can say that you're not going to think about this thing or you're not going to care, but to get to that level of genuinely not caring and just letting it happen takes a lot. And you have to be in this like certain mind space, certain mindset to be able to have that. And it just takes a while. You just have to be patient with it, because you're going to try over and over again. And then one time it's just going to stick with you, because I feel like probably you just have exhausted every single moment of you trying to do that. You know what I mean? Our relationship is so good genuinely because it's based off of two people detaching from what the outcome is and truly having fun and showing up as your most authentic self, right? Going back to authenticity. When you're authentic, I feel like true detachment comes from when you truly can be authentic in yourself and not care and trust that how you are is going to bring you what you need to have in your life. I wish I wrote down just like bullet points of this, but I'm really just like freestyling this, because I feel like when I look back and edit this, I'm going to be like, oh, there's so many things that I wanted to talk about. If that happens, then we'll add that into the next video. But anyways, so that's kind of happening with me for YouTube right now. That's what I'm trying to learn at this point. I feel like I've mastered you can master something, but then regress. Well, not regress, but extend the line of mastery, because I feel like there's going to be a point in time probably in my life where I'm going to rely on external input on how I view myself, where that definitely has happened when in my relationship now, not to the extent of completely losing myself, but I have found myself kind of putting my emotions in the hand of another person instead of being secure in myself. It's just something that creeps up. Like I said, life and a lot of the things that you learn ebb and flow. You're going to be really good at it one day. You're going to kind of be about it another day. That's literally what life is all about. Just going forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. And it's literally just this push and pull, honestly, for the rest of your life. And I remember I was watching this video. This monk was getting interviewed by someone and they were asking like, what is your dream or whatever? He mentioned how his dream is just peace. Because when you look for happiness, there's going to be sadness. When you look for super high, there is going to be a super low. But the point of just peace, being able to feel both things and like have that balance, is how I would love to live my life. Like, I don't even at this point, I don't want to be super, obviously I want to be happy, but I don't find that my goal in life is to be the happiest person ever, because that's genuinely not possible. Because what comes up literally has to go down, and that's with everything. So once you can just find that like inner peace and trust, that's like my ultimate goal in life. I don't know where that went. Like I said, I've just been trying to do that with YouTube. It's been kind of difficult because, like I was saying earlier, I have been starting to get more traction, that it's starting to get me on this high, that I feel like I'm starting to kind of chase it and grip on it a little bit more because I don't want to lose it. And that's literally what happened with this previous person before. Once I got a little bit of attention, I wanted to just like, why don't you want all of it? Like, why don't you give me all of it? Why don't you want me? And I'm like, because you reek of desperation, girl. Like, bruh, get it together. And I feel like I don't want to be doing that with my YouTube. I feel like that was what my problem was with when I first started doing YouTube, is once I started growth, I feel like you could tell that I was trying to be a little bit more desperate, doing things for the camera. And I told myself, I was like, I am not going to sell my soul doing things on camera that I wouldn't do in real life. If that takes me longer to grow, then so be it, because I want to have a community based on authenticity and me living my real life, because that's not sustainable. Also, like, that's not sustainable. I'm not even saying as in a like career wise, but mental wise. I want to be able to do this in the long run, because mentally, it's gonna sound so silly, but like the journey of social media. Oh my god, sorry guys. I also wanted to update you on my rash. It's still here. I need to go to the dermatologist, but I don't have my insurance card yet, so we're waiting. So I've been waiting literally since freaking Barcelona, before Barcelona, like New Year's. Anyways, doing something inauthentic is very emotionally draining. That's why I kind of like, I loved my previous job. I loved how it was my first big girl job, and I knew I needed that as a stepping stone to do what I need to do for the rest of my life. But the thing that I just did not resonate at all with is I felt like I had to be a different person. I felt like I had to put up a front, and I feel like that's with a lot of corporate jobs, is you need to put up a front and you can't be your authentic self, which, I mean, granted, there are some places where you can. Some people are just, you know, authentically themselves at work, but me personally, I'm just not a professional person. And that's just how it is. Like, I've always been the artsy, fun, not saying that some corporate people aren't fun, but I've always been the scraggler, whatever, the one that's on the side, the one that does her own thing. I used to be kind of embarrassed about it, because I'd be like, why can't you just be like everyone else? I remember I'd see people's LinkedIns and I'd be like, why can't I be doing what they're doing? I remember, since I'm living authentically, that's just not who I am. I remember I had manifested that I was like, okay, I want to have a job that lets me be my authentic self and lets me have fun in what I'm doing. Like, I genuinely enjoy it. I don't want to leave. And I remember I'd be doing like job applications, and I'd be gripping onto the idea of having this certain job so hard. I feel like that's what was energetically draining me as well. Oh my god, guys, I'm actually really tired. I'm so sorry that I'm like, I feel like I have so many good topics that I want to talk about, but I'm very tired. Once I stopped gripping onto what I wanted my future to be, one of my dream jobs came in. And it's crazy because it's not even like a dream job, but when I say dream job, I'm meaning dream job as in how I feel about the job. So what I manifested, like I said before, is I want to be able to be authentic. I want to be able to be the person who I am. I want to be comfortable in the environment. I want to be comfortable with the people around me. I want to be able to be my 100% self and genuinely have fun and not complain about going into office or not complaining about working. Y'all, once I just dropped it, and once I stopped getting that grip of wanting this to be my future, I have my dream job now. And it's funny because it's like, it's not a dream job as in it was the career that I wanted. Like, I wanted to do graphic design, but at this point, I don't even know if I want to do graphic design. I don't even know what I want to do. I just know that I want to feel the certain way every single day. That is what this job is providing me right now, and I'm genuinely so grateful. Like, I say it out loud now, and I'm like, holy crap, what I manifested has come into fruition. Like, I genuinely feel so comfortable going into work. I love going into work. We joke about so many things. I wear what I want to wear. I am who I am, and that in turn makes me provide my best work. And I feel like at my last job, I was working because I didn't want to mess up. I was working because I wanted to please this person. I wanted to get this praise from this person. Now, when I work genuinely because I enjoy what I'm doing. I want to do it for the better of everyone because I want to care about everyone. The energies that I have for this job compared to my last one is so much different, and people would think like on paper that my last job was a lot better, but I'm telling you, like, this is my dream job. Is this making sense, guys? I'm so sorry. I need to stop apologizing. Jeez, girl, like this, I have to remember this is my channel and I want to talk. Just because this is a sleepy day for me doesn't mean that it means anything at all. Like, that's my thing, is I need to excuse you. Confirmation burp, I learned that from Jadina, because I was literally about to say, I need to stop having expectations for myself. Like, literally for this video, I feel like I was holding an expectation to talk the certain way, to have such good topics, and that in turn, I really feel like messed me up, because I'm like, why am I not thinking the way that I want to think, when in actuality, there's no expectations. And I feel like content creation is kind of a tricky subject because you do want to be authentic as yourself and post the way that you talk, post the way that you want to be, and just authentically be yourself. But then you also have to appeal to the algorithm because your views are what keep you going. I wouldn't say like keep you going, but that's what helps you sustain your life. So I feel like I'm on this journey of trying to figure out that balance, trying to just let go. I'm still in the process of trying to let go. I really do be checking my YouTube studio every day, and it's because of that temporary dopamine hit, like that really quick dopamine fix of seeing a video get high views, where I need to start thinking, do I feel good about this video? Do I feel proud of what I put out, rather than waiting for external validation to be like, yeah, you did a good job because you got X amount of views. Bruh, I hate that I do that, but it's a given. And also with just like a lot of the YouTube videos that I've seen, a lot of people fall into this thing. I think it's I feel like it has to be a rite of passage, you know? Oh, also one of the last things I want to talk about with law of detachment is body goals, going to the gym. I really started going to the gym in 2020 or 2021. That's where I started to lift consistently. I had manifested that I wanted to have like toned arms, abs, and a butt, which is crazy because at a time later on when I was reading my journal, I was like, oh my God, like I got this. The reason how I feel that I got that, well, the reason I know that I got that, I really stopped checking in with myself and how I looked every single day. I feel like in the beginning, I feel like a lot of people's fitness journeys is you get so obsessed with the beginning. You get so obsessed with how you look in the moment. You burn yourself out because you're like, well, I don't see any progress. Where it's genuinely about building your daily habits and daily routines and just letting go of the expectation of what you want to look like. Just knowing that you have that goal and knowing that you will achieve it if you implement things to your everyday that will get to that goal. So obviously, you know, if you work out every single day, eat in a calorie deficit, do cardio, do whatever, you are going to get to that spot. But you need to stop checking in every day. And it's so funny I'm saying this because I have been doing this. I will check in the mirror every day, check myself after every workout. I will not necessarily weigh myself, but I'll look in the mirror and like hold my stomach and be like, okay, when is it going down? Like I don't see any progress yet. Where I need to just lock in and just live life day by day rather than constantly checking up on the goal. And that pertains to just like YouTube and gym stuff together, like content creation. If you're trying to be a content creator, you need to think of it in that way too. I did have that in my Notion notes. Hold on. I said, realizing my gym goals and social media goals and problems are parallel. Knowing I'm a new person and shouldn't be scared of past failure. Also with law of detachment, because I feel like with me, and I didn't even realize this till now, is my goals at a positive level, but then also thinking of the future as in failure. I feel like there's so many times in the past where I have locked into the gym for a period of time and I didn't get to the goal that I wanted, and I kind of just burnt myself out, and that resulted in failure in my head, which nothing's ever necessarily failure. It's literally redirection. Every single time like I didn't follow through with my gym goals, I feel like that piled up on each other, and when I go to the gym and start a new routine or start a new journey is I'm like, oh, I don't want it to end up like last time. Like I don't want to end up like how I was before. But like I said, detachment, you need to detach from the expectation of the good and the bad. But I feel like that's how I am with YouTube as well, is like scared of failure. But genuinely, there's no failure if you just keep going. Like, you cannot fail if you don't stop. Failure is you just giving up. And we're not going to do that. We don't do that around here. Which, I mean, you can give up in certain senses. Like, I don't know if I told you guys, but I do t-shirts and stuff on the side. I'm a graphic designer for frat apparel, honestly any custom apparel. I had been trying to take up this managerial role, trying to manage people. I kind of realized that taking all of that on kind of made me regress in the goals that I want. And I'm a very stubborn person where I don't like to give up on things. I don't like to admit defeat, which I guess it's not even admitting defeat, but just knowing what your limitations are. I realize I'm like, okay, I realistically cannot do all of these things at once. Like social media, my work, like 9 to 5, UGC content, and all, just like trying to grow in every single aspect of my life. If I have another branch of growth that I'm trying to focus on, I'm not even energetically and mentally like fully immersed in it. Like it feels different than how it was before. And I could go on about it in a whole different video of just like feelings, like knowing when something is off or something is kind of done. I'm thinking that this is it for today's video. I ended up talking a lot longer than what I was expecting because I knew that I was just talking about a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that your girl was a little sleepy. She was really just talking out of her booty because I had no notes, which I feel like that's how I want to come into these videos though, is I want to go in with no notes. This is purely me just talking about what comes to my mind, and we can elaborate later on in life. This has been just me straight yapping. Maybe that'll be what this is called, straight yapping, because I have no expectations of how this goes, and it's just me talking out my booty. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, turn those post notifications on, comment down below whatever you guys want to see next or what topics you guys would like to hear me talk about. Follow my TikTok, follow my Instagram. Ooh, forgot to talk about this. TikTok has been down recently. I don't know what's been going on with it, but your girl has not been popping off like she usually does. Now, I need all of you guys to go over to TikTok. It's just Tori Crackers. Y'all need to just do your thing on there. I trust y'all. But anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video.